Shawn Michaels has the reputation of being one of the biggest bad boys in professional wrestling, and that wasn't even just because of his on-screen character. During the 1990s, Michaels didn't have the greatest of reputations, with him going down a few bad roads at times. Professional wrestlers of that era, and in the eras both preceding and preceding it, had some troubles here and there, with many becoming quite controversial and problematic. In 1995, Michaels got himself into a pickle inside a bar, resulting in a fight in which Michaels would be on the receiving end of a beating, and it would result in WWE needing to make some changes to their programming due to Michaels' antics. Shawn Michaels is now one of WWE's best creative minds as the head of NXT. He is well respected in the business, not just for his career and expertise, but also for how he treats others. This wasn't always the case, however. At one point, HBK was one of the most egotistical wrestlers in the business. Although Shawn Michaels has earned the reputation of being one of the greatest professional wrestlers of all time, there was a stage in his career where it seemed as though he would become WWE's biggest disaster. Due to fame, youth and ego, Michaels became a huge issue for the WWE in the 1990s, with him having notoriously one of the worst backstage attitudes at the time. With the mass media and publicity around WWE, Michaels turned to many other avenues to ensure that he remained stable. Michaels would battle several types of addiction around this time, which would help feed towards his constant anger with other performers and with the company as a whole. Notable real-life rivalries such as against Bret Hart and The Undertaker were what defined much of his time in the company back then, even though these feuds would settle down over the years, much like Michaels himself. He mellowed out over time, and whilst that alone doesn't excuse his past actions, he is certainly a different. Many times during the 90s, Michaels was surrounded by friends in the clique, which included the likes of Triple H, Kevin Nash and Razor Ramon, and these would act as a barrier for Michaels, keeping him out of trouble and keeping him grounded. However, in the autumn of 1995, his friends would be off on a European tour, whilst Michaels was working the US house show circuit, and additionally the In Your House 4 Great White North PPV. Prior to that event, he would go out to a bar with Sean Waltman and Davey Boy Smith, with the trio deciding to party all night long one night, October 13th. Not settled with their heavy drinking and partying, Michaels decided that he wanted to find a girl to hook up with that night, living up to his Heartbreak Kid nickname. He decided to pursue a woman on the dance floor, but was quickly confronted by Douglas Griffith, who was a soldier, who stated that he and the woman in question were already together.